Okay, welcome back, and now we're going to talk about quadratic equations. So what is a quadratic equation? A quadratic equation is any equation that involves a variable raised to the power of 2, or what we say to the second degree, and no higher. So there has to be a variable with an exponent of 2, but there cannot be any other variable terms, any other terms with a variable to a higher exponent, okay? So if that's the case, then that is a quadratic equation. So for example, this here is a quadratic equation. It involves a variable x raised to the second power, and there are no other variables raised to a higher power. This one is not a quadratic equation because there are no variables raised to the second power. This one is also not a quadratic equation because there are no variables raised to a second power. But this one here is a quadratic equation because you can see that there is a variable raised to a second power, and there are no other terms with variables raised to higher powers. This one is not a quadratic equation because even though it has a term with a variable raised to the second power, there is a term with a variable raised to a higher power. So that disqualifies it from being considered a quadratic equation. In fact, this is a cubic equation, okay? The standard form of a quadratic equation is this. You have ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. This is what we call standard form, okay? Notice that this goes in or decreasing order. Okay, so it goes from the highest exponent down to the lowest exponent. Okay, so that is another thing. So this is called the x squared term. Okay, this is called the x term, and this is called the constant term. Okay, so this is what we call standard form. Okay, so when we want something written in standard form, this is what we mean. Okay, that's it. Have a great day.